Hello, everyone. Welcome to another JPNN. It's Wednesday, June the 22nd. Yes, that's correct. June is almost already over. It's kind of insane. We're middle of the week, so we've got some middle of the week news. Activision's in here. We got some more stuff about Final Fantasy XVI. We got a lot to say. We got a lot of stuff to do, so let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to begin with ye olde Activision. They're always in the news. What can we say? Yesterday, Activision Blizzard shareholders voted in favor of New York's proposed annual abuse report, in which it would share how it handles abuse, harassment, and discrimination within the company. Stay with me on this. The proposal by New York State Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli, let's go with that, was brought forth in February of this year. The report would be expected to disclose the following: the total number of disputes settled by the company and the amount of money spent doing so, progress towards reducing the average amount of time taken to resolve such complaints, either internally or through litigation, the total number of pending complaints regarding sexual abuse, harassment, or discrimination, the amount of hours worked and pay issued as required by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. The vote for the public harassment report in total comes a week after Activision Blizzard concluded its internal investigations. But what that main press announcement didn't mention was that stockholders also gave the green light to the board of director nominees, which include CEO Bobby Kotick. As stated in the official legalese filed on June 21st, stay with me here. Item 5.07, submission of matters to a vote of security holders. As the entirety of the company, where all 600,000, let's just round, 650,000 votes, 650 million votes, actually. Is that the right number? Were, quote, represented in the person or by proxy to approve the nominated board of directors to serve another full one-year term ending at next year's stockholders' meetings. By an alarming majority, the board voted to remain. What the fuck are these numbers? Who the fuck, Yervin, what are these numbers? Oh, it's in stocks. Oh. Okay, I get it now. So there was an alarming majority vote. 533 million voted for the board to remain, with only 62 million opposed and some 2.1 million abstaining. So I guess Bobby's sticking around for a little bit longer, I guess is how that goes. Also, what the hell, the opening of that news is so like, they're going to send a company-wide email that says something along the lines, this month we only got 4 complaints of sexual harassment. Good job, everyone. Numbers are going down. Like, what? What a time we live in. What a time we live in. Just strange. Let's move on. Eurogamer revealed that the rights of Spin Tires, as well as the fate of millions of dollars in revenue for spin-off sequels MudRunner and SnowRunner, are the focus of several major legal claims between Saber Interactive and the game's original publisher, UV. The increasingly bitter fight between the two companies escalated significantly last week, with the issuing of a press release by a legal firm associated with UV containing numerous claims directed at Saber and the brief return of Spin Tires to Steam despite its previous delisting in the wake of another legal challenge. Saber has subsequently filed a defamation claim in relation to UV's allegations. Eurogamer can also reveal, while Spin Tires' Steam page is now back offline pending various DMCA challengers. For those interested in reading about it, head over to Eurogamer.com. It's a rather lengthy dispute, but if you're at all interested, definitely go check it out. We're not going to cover it in full here. I hope everything works out. I like those games. I'd like to see more of those games. We'll see what happens with it. PlayStation has announced that it will not be attending Gamescom 2022. The information was announced via a German publication, GamesWirtschaft, which confirmed with the platform holder that it won't be going to Cologne this year and won't have an announcement in the opening night live show. Activision Blizzard, Take-Two, and Nintendo had previously announced that they wouldn't be going to Gamescom either. However, Gamescom 2022 will continue to run from August 24th to the 28th, and will be the first time since the show, since COVID, that the show returns to a physical event since the start of all of this. The event will still include digital aspects for those unable to attend physically. As always, JPNN and sometimes Drop Frames will be covering whatever comes out of that show. Microsoft is preparing to add mouse and keyboard support to its Xbox Cloud gaming service, xCloud, that streams Xbox games to TVs, PCs, mobile devices, and more. Microsoft teased the addition earlier this year, and now it's encouraging game developers to get ready for mouse and keyboard support and some, quote, big latency improvements on Xbox Cloud Gaming soon. They go on to say, quote, Xbox has been supporting keyboard and mouse for a few years now, and we're working on adding it to streaming for PC users, says Morgan Brown, a software engineer on Microsoft's Xbox game streaming team. He goes on to say, quote, but you can start adding it to your game right now, and your console's keyboard and mouse users will appreciate it. It will light up in streaming once... It'll light up in streaming? That's weird. Once we finished adding it. We'll see what happens with that. It's always good to get more keyboard and mouse support across the board. Microsoft has also acknowledged a shortage of Xbox controllers after many retailers sold out completely this month. At the time of writing, major retailers in multiple regions are completely sold out of Xbox wireless controllers, and the peripherals seem to be particularly scarce across Europe. In the UK, there are currently no controllers in any color in stock at retailers or even at the official Microsoft store. The situation appears to be similar in many regions, with Reset Era forum users discussing their difficulty in locating controllers in various countries, including Australia, France, and the Netherlands, as well as Germany. Xbox confirmed the controller shortage following an inquiry by Video Games Chronicle, attributing it to supply disruptions. The official statement was, quote, we know it may be hard finding Xbox wireless controllers right now due to supply disruptions. A Microsoft spokesperson told us. We gotta work on not saying what the quote, we just say the quote, you know, like we don't need. Goes on to say, we're working as fast as possible with our manufacturer and retail partners to improve this. Please check with your local retailer for availability. We'll see. I hope not. I hope more controllers are out there. How many controllers are they selling, though? That's another question I would love to know. Here's a fun game, or a fun name of a cloud gaming provider. Blacknut. They're a leading independent cloud gaming provider. They announced today a strategic investment by Square Enix as it looks to meet the increasing worldwide demand for cloud gaming services. The investment will support ongoing R&D to cement Blacknut's technological lead. I feel like Zeke right here. I just can't stop laughing at that. Accelerate the market reach of its business-to-business solution and further expand Blacknut's portfolio of games, which already boast more than 500 games from a host of well-known publishers. According to research by Newzoo, cloud gaming generated more than $2 billion from 24 million subscribers in 2021. Seems like a good business to get into now. Ubisoft has confirmed Berlin as the city that will host the next Rainbow Six esports upcoming major. Originally, the United Arab Emirates was set to receive the Six major. However, Ubisoft changed plans due to backlash from the community. Let's move on and talk about Final Fantasy XVI. Yoshida-san, aka Naoki Yoshida, was talking about it across several outlets this past couple of days. We got a bunch of new information on the game. We're going to rattle all this stuff off. So let's start. That all of this does come from translations, thanks to Gamatsu.com for all of those translations, as well as collecting all the information. Here we go. Protagonist Clive, Clive, is the main character, I suppose. He's got an arsenal of powerful attacks and abilities based off traditional Final Fantasy summons, which can be cycled through in real time, enabling powerful combination attacks. After Clive claims an icon, summons, power, he'll be able to unlock its abilities in an, quote, ability tree through points earned in battle. There will be times where the player controls an icon in real time, battling other icons. Each icon versus icon battle is unique. One may be reminiscent of a 3D shooter, while another may be more like a pro wrestling match, and another may transform the entire arena into a battlefield. Each will have slight differences in user interface as well. Clive will be accompanied by one or more companions for most of his journey, who will participate in battle as well as banter with Clive. These party members will be AI controlled. The wolf pup from the first trailer is named Torgal. As for whether Torgal will eventually play a role in combat, Yoshida said to, quote, wait and see. Is that Fenrir or something? Creative Business Unit 3 also chose a medieval fantasy style theme for Final Fantasy XVI because much of its core members, including Yoshida, simply enjoyed that style the most. The game uses an independent area based game design that can give players a better feel of a truly global scale, and it's not open world. The game will be a complete experience at launch, and there are currently no plans for other content. The player will follow the life of Clive through 3 stages: his teens, his 20s, and his 30s. Seems kind of like a long game. Currently, Final Fantasy XVI is fully playable from start to finish, but voiceovers in multiple languages still need to be recorded, and as it is a very action-oriented game, much playtesting is required to fine-tune the difficulty, put the final touches on cutscenes, and allow for full-scale debugging. There is a third trailer planned for release this fall, which will concentrate more on the world, the lore, and the storyline. I am very curious to see how those battles handle themselves from like the icon fights. I trust Yoshi P because of all my Final Fantasy XIV experience, but we'll have to see how that all goes. It sounds like it's pretty good. Sounds like it's got some stuff going to it. The latest issue of the weekly Famitsu has a feature on the 35th anniversary of the Yis series. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Including the first concept artwork for the next entry in the series and an interview with Falcom president Toshiro Kondo. The concept artwork depicts a young-looking Adol fighting a giant bird-like creature alongside a woman wielding an axe and a shield. Their arms are connected by an aura-like string, and their attack also forms an X. There are some notable tidbits from the interview with Kondo. They are that this will be the 10th entry in the Yis saga. While it will retain the series' smooth and exhilarating gameplay, other areas are being re-examined, and while not quite Souls-like, the challenge is to see whether it is possible to implement steadily paced one-on-one combat in which the player can watch the enemy's movements. It is a lighter-feeling Ys-styled Souls-like. Adol is around the age he was in Ys 1 and 2. The story might be set outside the Roman spelled R-O-M-U-N Empire. That must be a in-world canon thing. Changing weapon attributes by swapping between party members will change significantly. And while they say, quote, while we cannot say platforms at this time, we want a wide range of players to enjoy it, and making Adol younger may have been for that purpose. It will be released as we're working on various platforms. All right. Moving over to Chivalry 2, that game has sold over 300,000 units on Steam in 10 days since its launch on June 12th, with over 5,500 plus very positive reviews. I forgot that just launched on Steam. It really shows how many people truly do not like using the Epic Game Store, as well as it sold 300,000 units. That's wild. It's crazy. Congratulations to those kids. Tiny Tina's Wonderlands will be heading to Steam on June 23rd. I'm sure they're hoping that it sells just as well. Speaking of Game Pass, we've got some games coming out. Currently being added on the 21st is Shadowrun Trilogy, as well as Total War 3 Kingdoms. On the 23rd, FIFA 22 and Naraka Bladepoint will pop up. And then on July 1st, Far Cry 5. There are also a bunch of games getting Xbox Touch Control support. Those are Broken Age, Bugsnax, Chinatown Detective Agency, Kraken Academy. It's got 2 exclamations there. I just read the teleprompter, guys. Life is Strange, True Colors, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 1 and Sigma 2, Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, and the Dungeons of Nahubuk, maybe. And finally, The Last Kids on Earth. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, the big release for this week, does have some early review scores. Currently sitting at, it's got an 8 from IGN, Game Informer with an 8. The 6 Access gives it an 8. GameSpot, a 7. With 35 critics on OpenCritics instead of 79, and with 52 critics on Metacritic, it's currently sitting at an 80. Let's move on to some more random news here. Chinese crypto miners and South Asian e-cafes are now dismantling their mining rigs and putting cards up for auction on live streams. Currently, cards like the 3060 Ti are going for around 300 to 350 US. Huh. Maybe this is really, truly the fall of crypto. Try to get some cards cheap, I guess. We'll see if you can get them. Let me know. Tony Hawk was on a stream recently talking about Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 remasters, and they said that they were in the works, but they were scrapped after Vicarious Visions was merged into Blizzard. That's kind of sad, but hey, that's how it goes. Also, scalpers are currently trying to resell The Last of Us Part 1's out-of-stock Firefly Edition for up to $450 on eBay, as fans are scrambling to get their hands on the limited physical release. The collectible bundle, which is a PlayStation Direct exclusive in the US, and it's supposed to retail for $99.99. Wonder what comes in that bundle that people are buying it so much for. Huh. In the rumor mill, Sucker Punch is looking for combat and mission designers for an unannounced open-world stealth game that could quite possibly be the Ghost of Tsushima sequel. There are several positions currently available on the studio's official website, and they are all apparently related to this upcoming AAA stealth-focused project. A substantial amount of those positions suggest that the applicant must have played previous Sucker Punch titles to be considered. Huh. Also, the unannounced project will have a particular focus on not only stealth, but melee combat as well, which sounds perfectly fitting for something like Ghost of Tsushima 2. Bring it on. That game is gorgeous. I absolutely loved it. The DLC was also very good. If you haven't checked it out and you got a PS5 recently, do it. When's that coming to PC, Sony? Hurry it up. Moving along to some more rumors. Well-known industry insider Tom Henderson has reported that sources have suggested that Skate 4, or simply Skate, will be fully revealed next month from EA. It's understood that this game has been undergoing extensive playtesting for some time these past few months, with the title being much further along in development than people may have thought. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll bring you all the news on future episodes of JPNN. Hey, if you want to join us for these live recordings, by all means, feel free to come over on Monday, Wednesday, Friday at twitch.tv/itmeJP, or you can keep checking out the VOD here on youtube.com/itmeJP. We appreciate everyone who does either. As long as you're watching this content, that's A-okay with me. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time, aka Friday, for more JPNN. We are out of here. That's the news. Have a good one. Bye-bye.